Now, if you're someone whose PowerPoint slides look something like this, then what I want to show you in today's video is going to make your slides look a lot more professional in just 5 minutes. And the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video are going to be super helpful, even if you are a beginner with little to no design skills. So without further ado, let's get started. Now we'll start with inserting a new slide. I would like to go with a blank slide. And here what we're going to do is just add in the title. Now the first thing that I would want you to do is go to the Insert tab and insert a rectangle, a rectangular shape. Drag and stretch it to the screen. Just make sure that is towards the center of the slide. Now make sure to remove the outline for this rectangle and change the color to light gray. Now what we want to do is add 4 squares to this rectangle. The reason is we have 4 pieces of information, 4 items of information over here. So we want to add 4 squares within this rectangle, and you're going to see why in a moment. So make sure that you hold the shift key to add a perfect square. Now duplicate this square by pressing Ctrl D. Make sure that you align it with the first rectangle. Select both the rectangles and duplicate once again with Ctrl D and align them as well. Now select all the 4 squares and group them together. You can press Ctrl G, Command G on Mac, or just right click and select group. Now once you've done that, I would want you to stretch this rectangle to fit this base rectangle. So just select it and drag it until it fits the base rectangle. Now make sure that once you select it, make sure there is no outline for this rectangle, and change the shape color to something as per your preference. I'm going to go with a yellow color. Now what we want to do is since we've removed the outline over here, what I would recommend is that we change the color of these other rectangles so that we are able to see these shapes. So what I want to do is select this shape over here and pick some other color, a different variant perhaps, and just change the color of all these 4 rectangles. Now next, just right click on this rectangle, click on group, and make sure to ungroup these rectangles. Now it's time for us to add the text on the slide. So we can simply drag the text from here. So I'm just going to copy and paste the text over here. Make sure to choose an appropriate size for the text. So make sure that it's centered, and also make sure that it is centered with respect to this rectangle. So the way you do that is select both the rectangle and the text box, click on shape format, go to align, and say align center. All right, so it's center align. The next thing that we want to do is copy the text from the smaller text, copy the second text box from there, and just before, paste it right over here. Now I might want to adjust the size of the font over here. I'm just going to go with a slightly smaller font size. So say a font size of 12. All right, looks nice. So the next thing to make your content look a little more professional, what we're going to do is add an icon. So you can do that by clicking on the Insert tab and then going to Icons. And I'm just going to select an appropriate icon for this piece of text. And once you've inserted that icon onto the slide, just make sure that you adjust the size of the icon. Now that we've added the text and the icon for the first piece of information, I'm going to repeat the steps for the rest of the content on this slide as well. Now that I've added the content for the second box, I'm going to fast forward this video and add the content for the third and the fourth box as well. All right, so now that we've added the content to the slide and we have made sure that it is aligned, not just horizontally, but also vertically with the respective box in which the content is there. What we need to do next is basically delete these boxes, select all of these boxes and delete them. You're going to see why in a moment. And the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we select all of these text boxes and change the color to white. Okay, we want to do the same for all these icons. All right, so now that we've changed the color for these text and the icons to white. The next thing that we want to do is duplicate this slide. So I'm going to duplicate this 4 times because we have 4 boxes right over here. So I'm going to select this, right click, duplicate slide, or you can also press Command D or Control D on your computer based on whether or not you're using Windows or Mac. And then you'll have 4 slides over here. All right. The first thing that we want to do is select all of these slides and add a morph transition. So transition, we're going to click on morph, and here we'll have the morph transition added to the slide. Now the next thing that we want to do is go to the second slide over here and move this box from the first box position to the second box position right here. All right. And once we've done that, what we want to do is, in order to make sure that we are highlighting the content on this box, we're going to convert all of this into black and this in the text and the icons over here in white. I'm just going to fast forward this video and quickly do that for you. All right, one other thing that we're going to do over here is select this yellow box and flip it horizontally. So we're going to click on the Shape Format tab and click on the Rotate option and flip horizontally. And we're going to repeat the steps for the third and the fourth slide as well. So I'm going to fast forward this video and repeat these steps for you. All right, so we've basically completed the design for all the 4 boxes over here. What we've done is we've basically added the content and added a relevant icon. The next, we've just moved to the next slide and we've added the relevant content and the icon, but we made sure that we're highlighting the second box over here. We basically moved this yellow box over here from the first box to the second box. And then we've done the same thing for the third and the fourth box. And here's what the output looks like. So we play the first slide. I'm going to click on the next slide. It'll move to the next box. Beautiful. Then it'll flip to the third box. And then onto the fourth box. Now, one thing I would want to change over here is just select all the 4 slides, go to animations, rather transitions, make sure that we have the morph transition selected, and I'm going to reduce the duration to about 0.5 seconds. All right, this is just going to speed up the movement of this slide, of this box between the slides. So I'm going to go back to the first slide over here and let's review it. Yeah, much better. So this is a great way to make your slides look very professional with just a few changes and a few quick ways. Okay, great. So I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. I hope you got some interesting inputs from this video. Make sure that you subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in my next video.